Go.
I like your
Uh,
t-shirt.
and we're live, yeah. All right, hi guys. Welcome to the Tat Cave for our regular Tuesday Tat Chat hangout. Zahir's looking a bit different today, aren't you, Zahir?
Yes, I'm not feeling my best today.
Yeah, Zahir unfortunately is not feeling too good. He messaged me earlier saying that he's really not up for it. He should be in the chat hopefully at some point. So Caroline has thankfully stepped in, so I'm not sat here on my own flying solo. So yeah, I hope you're feeling better soon, Zahir. It's kind of self-inflicted, but we won't go into that.
Not in an alcoholic way, we should probably just say.
No. We'll let Z explain perhaps in his chat on Friday.
Yeah.
But how are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, very good indeed.
Good. I'm just go on.
No, busy, I just said.
Good. That's always good. Well, yeah, depends what you're doing, I guess. But I was just going to dip in the chat before we get going. Let's see who was first in today. We've got Peter Cummins first in there today. Lots and lot of chat. I'm sorry we're a little bit late. We had a slight tech issue, but nothing major. So we've got Twin Red Dragons, Tactical Bite, Chelsea's in there. Hi. There was a bit of chat before about Now 48. Did you hear about that, Caroline? Because of your favourite Peter Kay, Now 48 prices went up.
Yes, I did know that. I have seen it. Yeah, I haven't found any, but then I never look at CDs, so it would be unlikely that I would find any.
Yeah,
But
it was one of those.
people have found them.
The moment kind of went because supply is now outstripping demand. I got £10 for one a couple of days back. I sold one yesterday, which I forgot to ship out today. It was on Amazon, and I got barely £6 on that one. And now they're going as low as 3 or 4. So there's a tiny little window to cash in on that one, which is kind of gone now.
There's one of those Now CDs that goes for silly money, isn't there?
Well, Now 4 was the first one issued on CD in really limited numbers. That's worth hundreds, but the early sort of single-digit ones are really good. So 6, 7, 8, all those. Did they do 6, 7, 8? I know they did. I can't remember, but yeah, lower the better.
Yeah.
So who else we got in there? Andrew, Maria, Falling on a Brew, Southwest Sellers, Richard, Malinky. Welcome aboard, Treasure Pirate. Oh, sorry, chat's doing its usual thing. Lots and lots of people. So
the chat goes so quickly in this one, doesn't it? It's difficult to see it all.
It does, and then when you're reading, all of a sudden it just scrolls forward of its own accord, and you lose where you were. It's really frustrating. Wish they'd fix that.
Yeah, be able to scroll it up and down, but yeah.
Yeah. Lonnie's in there. Hi, Lonnie. Funky Monkey, Lisa, Pete Allen. So thanks for joining us. We've already got almost 100 viewers, and we don't really have anything particular planned.
Yeah, nothing to talk about.
Well, we kind of do, don't we? Because you messaged me about half an hour ago and said that you had a discovery. What was that, Caroline?
I really wish you hadn't made me say that. I've been sorting out my stock I've got like a big sort of space under the house, and it's sort of like our attic. And when we moved in here 3 years ago, we put just loads of stuff in there. We've never gone through it. And I found in there 2 massive boxes of unlisted shoes that I didn't even know I had and had no recollection of ever buying. And there must be about 60 pairs. I just found them amongst all this stuff.
Wow.
Sorry, go on.
Have you had a good look at them? Is it good stuff? Is it saleable stuff?
Oh, yeah, really good. Nice. There's some Kurt Geiger and some really quite nice stuff in there. And it's mostly summer. I used to sell seasonally. A couple of years ago, I used to only list winter stuff in winter and only list summer stuff in summer, because I've got so much extra stock. And so I would put away whatever was out of season at the time. And obviously I just put them all away and forgot about them. Yeah.
Wow. That is a lot of stock to suddenly realise you have.
Yeah, literally, but boxes so big I couldn't move them. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
So were you reselling before you bought this house, and then you've moved those?
Oh, yeah.
You moved, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I bought all my stock with me. I wasn't full time at the time, so it was an awful lot less than it is now. Oh, sorry, let me just turn that.
You grab that. I'll just dip in the chat. Oh, we've got a couple of questions in. But I was going to say, I can't take the mickey out of you finding stock. I've got a loft full. I couldn't really tell you what's up there, to be honest. So I know how easy it is, because when it's out of sight, it's out of mind, and you just literally do forget you've got it, and you move on to the next thing, don't you? And before you know it, you just lose track.
Yeah, completely. And I've got about a dozen men's designer suits that I bought last summer. Yeah, getting on for a year ago, that I haven't even listed. The whole thing. I'm really sorry, Nick. My husband, I've just cut him off and he's ringing me again. He might actually need something, so can I just take this?
Yeah, you do that. Go and take the call, and I'll dip in the chat. I can quickly answer Fabian King's question, who asks, where is Zahir? Well spotted, he's not here. Unfortunately, he's not feeling too good. He messaged me before we started, and he can't make it. He may dip in the chat. He said he was going to try and pop in. So Caroline has stepped in to come and have a chat. So yeah, but Zahir's fine. He's just not really feeling up for it. So yeah. And then we have a question. Treasure Pirate says, question, has everyone gone through their existing listings when relisting and made sure they are mobile friendly? I have to go through all of mine to amend it, as I think it has affected my sales. I must admit, I've never done that. Is that a case of just getting your mobile and opening up all your listings on it? Have you ever done that, Caroline?
Yeah, I have done. I haven't been through all my individual listings, because up until about Christmas time, I listed through Auctiva, and Auctiva were taking care of making all the listings mobile friendly, because there was quite a lot of active content on their listings, because they have the scrolling gallery and all that. And funnily enough, I had an email from them today saying that they've finally sorted it all out and all the listings should now be mobile friendly. So I haven't checked them today, I must admit. But yeah, I put so little. Now I list on eBay, I put so little in my description that it's literally 4 or 5 words. So I don't think there's any active content other than that scrolling gallery thing.
Yeah, same here. I don't use my templates anymore with fancy backgrounds and stuff. I literally, my description is my title copied in, maybe changed and add a few words if I couldn't fit them in. And then I copy my little description, you know, the little description box just below the title. I copy that to my main description. That's about it. It's cut and paste. I don't really bother. And they're switching off all active content soon anyway. So the whole Auctiva scrolling bars and stuff is all going to be out the window anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, I think people just don't. Now people buy on the phone so much. I mean, do you get that email every month saying what percentage of your listings are bought on mobile devices? I always think that's quite interesting. It's about 55% for me.
I'll be honest, I haven't looked at it. I'm sure I do get that email, but I've not looked at it.
Yeah, it's yeah, so it's about half and half. And I just think with the way people buy now, to look at the description on a mobile, you actually have to scroll down and touch the thing that says description to get into it. It's not like it's there in your face, is it? So I think people are probably just flicking through the photos, looking at the title, maybe the condition. I can't imagine many of them actually read the description.
Yeah, I noticed that because I do buy on my phone. And you have to really hunt for where the description bit is. And I sometimes worry if there's something you really have to explain, that it's not going to get noticed. So I'm trying more and more to put more information in that little description box above, because that's easier to find. So yeah, it's certainly changing. I mean, God knows where it will be in another 3 or 4 years with the whole mobile stuff.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it progresses, because people just didn't, you know, we didn't even have smartphones when I started reselling. God, who can imagine life without a smartphone?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I was on dial-up when I started on eBay. Zahir's in there. Zahir said, I'm not in the chat because I'm feeling unwell, because for some dumb reason I decided to do a water fast. So he's talking about it now anyway. So yeah, Zahir's on a fasting thing. We all gave our opinions about how much of a good idea this was.
Yesterday, yeah.
But yeah, no. Hope you're feeling better soon, mate.
Kevin's just said, is a water fast where you don't drink water? No, it's just, he's just drinking water. but he hasn't had any coffee or eaten anything at all. It's just water. Should probably say only since yesterday morning, not like for a week or something.
There's not much of me anyway, and if I don't eat, I just flake out. But if I eat too much, I'm just as bad. I'm on a knife edge.
It's finding that happy medium, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to give up carbs at lunchtime, so it makes me want to sleep all afternoon. Dreadful.
Yeah. I was just reading. Oh, Joe's in there. Hi, Joe. Natalie says, thank you for sharing Lemony Snicket books, Nick. I got 1 to 10 boxed for £1 on Sunday. That's a good price. The prices have come down on those. I did notice. I picked up a few when I was in Essex the other day. I picked up, I think it was 10, 11, 12, or yeah, something like that. And I've almost got another set, and I went and looked up prices, and they've dropped again since the hype about the new series has kind of been and gone.
But aren't they making another new series of that?
I don't know.
I'm sure I saw somebody say that in UK Reselling, that they were making another 1 or 2 series of it. Or, I mean, I don't watch it. I don't even know what it's about, but yeah.
Yeah, hopefully, and then demand will stay up. It's basically a story about some kids who lose their parents and go and stay with an old guy, I think. I saw a film. They made a film with Jim Carrey in it, I think.
I can't stand him, so I wouldn't have watched that.
You know, I he was brilliant in The Mask. Anyway,
was he in the one called Dumb and Dumber?
He was in the original Dumb and Dumber, yes.
That was funny, to be fair. That was actually a funny film.
I just saw something I was going to read and I've lost it. This chat goes fast so quick. Hold on. Oh, somebody was asking about Atari stuff. Where are we? Matt says, do you have the Atari 2600 games listed yet? I quite fancy Cuba and Miss Pac-Man if a deal can be done. I spent all day testing and listing. All I've got left to do, the ones I'm doing individually, are those. All of the boxed ones, about 30, 40 boxed ones, are all done. Cuba is available if you want it. What's the other one? Miss Pac-Man, yeah, they're both listed individually. If you can PM me, either on Facebook would be best, to be honest, and I'll let you know. And wearing my Atari t-shirt for the occasion. Does that mean
best to match whatever you're selling that day? If you're doing Star Wars stuff, do you put your Star Wars t-shirt on?
Yeah, within reason. I didn't even wear my Star Wars t-shirt on Star Wars Day. I was on the chat on the Price is Right thing with Margaret on Star Wars Day. I didn't even have a Star Wars t-shirt on. Epic fail.
Terrible.
Right, let's see what's going on in here.
Pete asked a question. Did you find that you had an increase in sales after you stopped using the template?
Not that I noticed. I'm not really good at keeping track of numbers and, you know, how well I'm doing and what affects what, to be honest. I just plow on regardless. I probably should pay more attention to that sort of stuff, but yeah, I'm kind of a scatterbrain kind of guy. I'm not really that organized to notice things like that. I'll be honest.
I think it's also really hard as well when you're reselling. So effectively, your stock changes all the time, and what you're selling one week might be, or 1 month might be completely different from what you're selling the next month. So it's kind of hard to see patterns, isn't it?
Yeah, and you never quite know what the reason is. You know what I mean? You could maybe deduce that you changed something and it's affected it, but you don't know, let's be honest. You know what I mean? You're just guessing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sales come and sales go. And yesterday I had nothing almost all day, a couple of bits here and there, and then 4 within a minute at 9 o'clock in the evening, literally within a minute.
Yeah. There's all those conspiracy theories that eBay switches off and switches on accounts, which I think is a load of mumbo jumbo. But when you have that, it kind of makes you think there's something weird going on. But who knows?
I think people, naturally, you want to think that there's a reason when sales go not so good, don't you? You want to find a reason for it, and people do, I mean, I don't know. Do eBay not switch you off effectively? But remember all that conspiracy about red doors and blue doors, and they meant different things, and
Yeah.
nobody ever knew what they meant. Most bizarre. But yeah, I think it's just people want to feel like there's an actual reason for it. But I think it's difficult to, if you were selling 5 different types of widgets and that's all you sold, and your sales varied massively from one month to the next, yes, you would be able to detect a reason for that, wouldn't you? Or you'd want to find out a reason, and you could start looking at sales patterns and what time of day people bought them and all that sort of thing. And I just think it's harder with all the different types of stock that we carry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
or just random stuff.
Particularly, yeah, we sell everything from kids' clothes to bikes and what have you. So yeah, there's very little pattern. The one thing I have noticed, we switched to 10-day cycles about, I don't know, 6 months ago now, when we upgraded the shop and we get that many free listings. It was then economical to shorten our cycle time. And we notice when we list stuff, well, I guess we all do. If you have a big listing session, that day you'll sell 4 or 5 items out of that session stuff because they're new and they're fresh. And when that 10 days is up and they're coming to the end, eBay promote them again and push them because they're finishing and they get to the top of the search ranks, don't they? So you then see another boost. So we get that 3 times in a month now, and I'm damn sure that has increased our sales. That's been well worth doing for us.
Yeah, when I first upgraded shop, I messed about a little bit with 7-day and 10-day listings, and I definitely found it got rid of some sticky stock. But I've got 1,200 listings now, so I haven't got the capacity with free listings to do much 10-day listing.
Yeah, I think even if we ever grow our store massively, we struggle to keep up with the amount we sell and put on, so it kind of hovers around the sort of 500 continually at the moment. But even if we got a lot bigger, I think I'd pay to have 10-day, because I think the increase in sales we have is worth that extra listing cost.
That's really interesting.
I was chatting to Pete Allen about it actually, because he was talking about different store levels and when it becomes economical. And I think there was a video put out, I think it was Cora put out a video about when it's economical. But the big thing she completely forgot to mention was the length of your cycles, because that impacts on how many listing fees you're going to be incurring. You know what I mean? So, and that's a big factor for us on when it becomes economical. So yeah, interesting stuff.
Lots of questions coming.
All right, can you see one? Do you want to read one out?
Yeah. Yes, she says, and then stops. What would be the top of your, Tom Hall says, what would be on the top of your bucket list, non-reselling related?
The bucket list. So what things to do before I die?
Yeah.
Non-reselling.
Bungee jump, Nick?
I would do it, but I'm not really hankering to jump off a cliff or something. I don't know. That's a really good question. I would love to go to Australia. Never been. The whole thought of it, the whole attitude, laid back attitude. I know a couple of Australians and they're just fabulous people. That may just be the ones I've particularly met. Yeah, so going to Australia is something I really need to do. You must have been down there with all your cruising you used to do?
Yeah, loved Australia. Really nice. I'd like to go back again one day, but 26 hours on a plane.
Yeah, that's the big downside, isn't it? You lose a whole day sat in airports and a plane. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say all my bucket list stuff would be travel related. So many places I want to go back to. Vietnam and Cambodia I've never been to and I'd love to go. So that's probably top of my list.
Yeah, my sister traveled the world for a year with her now husband, and they went through Vietnam and that whole area and loved it. And it was so cheap to stay and eat and everything. Yeah, I'd love to go out there. The language barrier kind of worries me a bit. I'm not great with, muddling by with languages, which is why Australia appeals, because obviously they speak English. So,
yeah, they'd understand you.
Yeah.
Lucy T says, Nick, did you not take your granny trolley to the book sale?
No. In a word, no, we didn't think it was necessary, and it wasn't. That was, I don't know if you've seen the video, but we didn't get a lot of footage in there, but it was so relaxed. It was that's the place we go to, that crazy jumble sale where it's like proper full-on rugby scrum for the whole duration. And this was just, we sat there was no queue, we were at the front of the queue, sat there with a couple of other resellers we met there and had a chat with, and then we wandered in, and everyone was just milling around. I had free reign of the whole media. I scanned just about everything. Nobody was there looking. I just picked out a couple of massive stacks of media. It was like, yeah, it's great. Good fun.
Retro Cable says, question, I have turned off European Sales Booster, had too much hassle from foreign buyers. One even told me off for not messaging them in French. I had to use Google Translate. Does that mean global shipping program? I don't know what European Sales Booster is.
No, I think that's something different. GSP, I don't think that's what he's referring to. I remember Zahir talking about like a firm outside of eBay that markets
Translation. Yeah.
I don't know if that's it. Don't know.
I don't think Zahir kept on with it, did he? He got rid of it after.
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, I just use GSP. With the games that I'm doing now, I'm offering my own international shipping. But generally on all my other stuff, I just have GSP switched on and it works really well. So that's all I do. Do you use that for your clothes?
Sorry, just see Adam Incredible said, so here you look well if you started moisturising. Yeah, for those that have just joined us, we've got a lot of new people in, 133 viewers now. So he couldn't make it because he's not feeling too good. So Caroline has kindly stepped in, so I wasn't sat here on my lonesome. So yeah, but he's fine. He was in the chat earlier, actually. Indie Chick says, question for me, how do you pack ladies and gents dress jackets? I'm always worried that they arrive really badly creased. Yeah, they probably do, but what can you do about it? If it's really expensive, I'll perhaps put it in a box, fold it nicely and put it in a box inside tissue paper and what have you. But generally with clothes, just poly bags. Yeah,
I always think that. You know, we go to lengths. I mean, Andrew spent all day yesterday ironing, and we're seriously thinking of going the route you do and paying someone. Just give them a massive heap and just pay them the money. But yeah, you go to all that length of ironing it and photographing it looking lovely, and then when I come to pack it, I just know it's going to look a mess when it gets there. But there's not a lot you can do. You can't send it in a suit bag all hung up or something. It's just not.
No, I think people expect it. I think people haven't ever, I don't think, had anyone complain that things arrive too creased, and yet I'm sure they do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we order a fair bit of clothing off the internet, and it always arrives screwed up. It's how it is.
Natalie asked a question sort of related to what we were talking about before. What is the item you have listed for the longest, and how long has it been listed for, and when do you think about reducing prices? I
have no idea what item I've currently got that's longest listed. It's probably been on whatever it is for about a year, I would imagine, at least.
Yeah.
It depends totally on the item. Some items I won't reduce at all. A lot of my stuff I reduce fairly quickly, depending on how many views it's had, what interest it's had, what other stock of the same thing is available. It comes down to the individual item. So,
yeah, I'm a bit of a list and forget, to be honest. I'm certainly, if something sells in its first or second 30-day cycle, that's quick for me. I think clothes are pretty long tail generally, and I've definitely got stuff that's been listed a year, definitely. And I've just done in the last few weeks, since we started getting the free auctions, 300 free auctions a month or something, is it? The new shop fees. It's in the middle shop level. I've started getting rid of some old stock on low start auctions, starting at £2.99, £4.99, £6.99, and that's mixed results, but better than giving it to the charity shop. But in my experience, really everything sells eventually.
Yeah, I need to take advantage of those auctions. I've not used them. I actually made a video about it and thought, oh, that's good. And then haven't done anything myself. I can't remember. What do you? Is it really hundreds we get a month on auction?
I think. Can anyone in the chat confirm that? Because I could be wrong. I think it's 300 a month. They have to be 7-day auctions. It's the only thing.
Yeah, I remember thinking that was a bit odd. Why are they setting that at 7-day? That's odd, but there you go. Yeah, I
Yeah,
need to do that actually. Experiment a little bit and see if some stuff shifts.
yeah, I
Oh,
was just doing it for get rid of some old stuff because I'm listing so much new stuff and I have so much stuff to list.
yeah. Yes. Exit to Red has a question. What is Nick's exercise routine to keep himself in shape as a reseller? I have no exercise routine. Going out at the weekend, marching around fields like a lunatic is my exercise routine. There you go. But in all honesty, I used to do a lot of cycling. I'd think nothing of cycling 100 miles in a day. I'd cycle to the coast and back from here. I haven't been on a bike for probably the best part of 10 years. We do a lot of walking, but I don't really play sport anymore. So yeah, running around with a granny trolley is my exercise, to be honest.
I love my granny trolley. I'm a granny trolley convert.
Oh, how long have you had one?
Oh, not very long. About since I had a bad back in January, I knew that I was going to have to do it for the car boot sale season this year. So I've got one, and it's quite
Oh,
cool.
I didn't realise you'd picked one up. Did you keep that quiet?
No, I think I showed it in a vlog. Are you not
Oh,
watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas?
I try to. I try to. I will be honest, it's so hard to keep up.
It is, yeah.
Even with our close group of friends, because we're all, putting out content. Margaret's putting out loads of content. I was watching her live earlier, unboxing jewelry jars and stuff, and then you're putting out loads of varied videos, and Zahir and Beck, obviously. It's like finding time to follow all these channels is tough, and I follow way less than I used to. I really do. What about
Yeah,
you? I know
definitely
you
can't
watch
watch
it.
them
You
all.
watch quite an eclectic mix of all sorts of stuff. Are you struggling to keep up?
I watch a lot of stuff that's not reselling. I don't watch an awful lot of reselling. I watch Carla and Heather because they sell the type of stuff I'm interested in. I watch some of yours, not all of them. Anything computer games. I don't watch.
There's been a lot of that recently, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
There's another whole video to come of that, and then it's
yeah.
done.
I watch Rachel and I watch Margaret, and I dip in and out of Ads's channel. I like some of Ads's live stuff. And yeah, other than that, but yes, it is hard to get up. And I really like Chris Gotts's channel as well. Now he started doing reselling videos again. But yeah, it is hard to keep up. There's so many, aren't there? So yeah.
Yeah, it seems a very long time ago when there was Tom and myself, and then Joe started, and I think Darren started, and you were about in the early days as well. And there was literally like you could count them on one or two hands of people that were putting out regular content in the UK to do a reselling, and now I couldn't even name everyone who's doing it. But talking about Heather, that's Treasure Pirate, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully. I was talking to her on Facebook. I'm hoping to get her on this show hopefully next week. I need to message you, Heather. But yeah, or message me. Remind me to get that sorted if you're up for it. Right, let's have a look. Oh, Pete Allen says, after my chat on Monday, I delisted and changed 100 items to 10-day listings, and now made 4 sales today with that stock already. So there you go. There's some proof in the pudding. So instantly, I mean, to be honest, if you cancel and sell similar anything, you'll get that instant boost. And when I relist, I always sell similar. Do you still do that, Caroline, or not?
Always do sell similar, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't do good till cancelled unless it's multi-listings. Everything's on 30-day because I do think getting that boost. I don't really like good till cancelled.
Yeah, same here. I do have a fair few good till cancelled ones, but it's this sort of RA stock where I have multiples. And then if you get a couple of sales, it keeps you up there in the rankings. So that works out.
Yeah, I had a couple of multiples and I put them on. They just got up to the top of the rankings, really, really quite nice. And I put them on 30-day instead of good till cancelled, and they finished, and I had to start all over again. Lots that I had hundreds of, so that was quite annoying. But they've made their way up there again now, thank goodness.
Yeah, I've done that before. It's annoying because then all those sales count to nothing, and you've got to, like you say, start again in the rankings down the bottom. And yeah, and another thing, if people are watching this and they're thinking, oh, I need to perhaps try doing sell similar rather than relists of unsold items, be careful, because they will stay in your unsold items if you do sell similar, because eBay won't recognize that it's been relisted because it thinks you've sold something similar but a different item. So you then have to go back into your unsolds and delete them. Otherwise, you'll make a whole cock up, which I've done, and I'm sure everyone else has.
Yeah.
Listing things more than once or getting duplicates. Although there is a thing within eBay that stops
you. If you try and list them again, it says it's a duplicate listing and it won't do it. But yeah, you can get mixed up if you've had another whole bunch end.
Yeah, but oddly, it did let me do it on some things once, and I cocked up. And the other thing I have done, I'll tell you, was when you do sell similar, it reverts to the original amount of products you had. If you, let's say you had something with just 2 or 3 items on, so you weren't doing good till cancelled, it will then revert to 3, but maybe you'd already sold 2. You've only got, you know what I mean? You have to be really careful with the quantities, because I've tripped over myself with that as well.
Yeah. Easily done. That is annoying, actually, especially if you've got one that's got a lot of items, a lot of different sizes. You have to do a whole recount.
Yes, indeed. Just looking in here.
Austin Moore's just said, do you not get a boost with good till cancelled? I find I still get sales when they relist. Yeah, Rachel was talking about this a little bit, because she does good till cancelled for almost everything, because she and Jamie work off the same account, and it's just difficult to relist or know what's being relisted and stuff, so they put everything good till cancelled. And she said that she gets more of a boost if she actually physically ends stuff and lists it again than she does with the good till cancelled ending and restarting, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but I know what I'm on about.
It does. I made a video a long time ago, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, about a guy in America who did a lot of research with rankings and stuff and compared listings that were on good till cancelled and watched. He went in and searched it and found exactly where it came in the rankings if it was good till cancelled and it just relisted itself, as opposed to an identical listing that he ended and relisted himself, and where that came in the rankings. And there was an obvious and clear increase if it was a brand new listing with a new number. And what he thinks happens is, on good till cancelled, it doesn't get a new item number, and to eBay, it's exactly the same item that still hasn't sold and it's been on for now a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. So eBay starts to think nobody wants this item, and they start ignoring it, and it gets pushed down and suppressed. And it all made sense. Nobody really knows how the eBay algorithms work or whatever, and how the search engines work, but that's when I switched and stopped doing good till cancelled on items I have 1 or 2 of, and it seemed to pay off for me.
The other thing I think is that if people are searching for a specific thing, and that quite often they'll search by newly listed, and if you've got good till cancelled listings, they won't show. Am I right in saying that they don't show up at the top of newly listed if they're good till cancelled, even if they've come to the end of their 30 days and relisted themselves? I don't think they do.
Yeah, I think so. It's, yeah, the thing is as well, with all of this sort of information, we're kind of half guessing, and I think eBay adjusts the algorithms and what they do on a monthly basis, so who knows. But yeah,
it's purely guesswork, isn't it, and experience, and just saying
all I know is that the 10-day cycle has seen benefit for us. So yeah, right, I'm way behind in the chat. Let's see what's going on. Right, sorry.
Somebody asked absolutely ages ago, do we sell plushes? Do you have any luck with plushes, soft toys?
Yes. I don't buy a lot of them. I don't know an awful lot. I sold that Flat Eric guy for 40 a couple of weeks back.
There's some Teletubbies up there. I can see them.
They've been sat there for ages. I'm waiting for the damn green one. As you can see, I've got very... Hey?
Dipsy or Lala?
I'm not sure. I know the purple one's Tinky Winky.
Yeah.
The red one's Poe. Yeah, it might be Dipsy. I need Dipsies. So yeah, I've got several yellow ones and purple ones, and yeah. And was trying to think. We sold something. Oh yeah, we sold a Disney plush, little thing. I think I shared it in a sales roundup, and that went for 40 quid, which was nice. Cost us £1 at the car boot, and we bought 2 off the same person, both brand new with tags. So yeah, there's certainly money in plush, but I'm no expert. Austin had a question for me before. Where is it? Yeah, Austin Moore says, Nick, do you buy women's clothing for resale? And do you feel like people are looking at you funny going through the women's clothing? Generally these days, I don't buy so much of the clothing. I leave that to Andrea and I do my thing. We've kind of split the business. So I do all of this junk and Andrea does the clothing and shoes. In general, there's some crossover, but she tends to buy the clothing. When we were both doing clothing and nothing else, I used to get stuck in. And I gave up caring what people think years ago, to be honest. And if you're going to be a reseller on any scale, I think you need to grow a thick skin. It does help. Do you agree on that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to say that.
Oh,
I just I'm careful what I say on the internet these days. I've just seen a question. What's the worst listing you've ever seen on eBay in terms of the photographs and description?
Oh wow, there's loads. I wanted to do a video.
I buy most of them for really cheap prices.
What's that? So good.
I buy quite a lot of really badly listed items with dreadful photographs and flip them.
Yeah, well, it's a good point. If you can find terribly listed stuff, I got a really good deal ages back. This was on a job lot of plumbing stuff. I do like picking up plumbing stuff. The picture was somebody had stood outside their garage, pointing into the garage, which was dark, with a load of sacks at the back full of stuff, and the title was plumbing equipment. So dark garage, couldn't see what was in it, and that was it. So brilliant. And I got best part of £1,000's worth of gear for, I think it was £95, because he hadn't itemized it, he hadn't listed it, he hadn't even said quantities, and these bags were full of high-end plumbing fittings, you know, expensive stuff.
Yeah. I swear there's an actual business in just sniping badly listed stuff off eBay. You could make a decent living doing that. It'd be boring as hell, wouldn't it? But there's a business in there for anyone who wants to do that.
Definitely, people do. Yeah. If you know, I think the way forward with that is either to have a list full of things that you search on a daily basis, or you have a niche that you know inside out. And, you know, not even badly listed stuff, just stuff that perhaps they put on auction that doesn't have a big demand, so it doesn't reach its price. But you know, on a good day, you'll get like 5 times as much for whatever that item is, and you just pick them up cheap. There's a handful of items that I don't talk about that I do exactly that on. But yeah, there's huge potential.
Yeah, I have 6 or 7 items that I've got saved searches for, and that come through on a daily basis. And some weeks don't get anything, but some weeks, 10 or 20 items.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a nice little additional way of sourcing stock for sure.
I've just seen we've got Sue in the chat. Says she's dropped in whilst cooking cottage pie. Hi, Sue. David Morse is noticing more and more stuff is restricted on Amazon, even though there are other resellers already listed on there. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that. Andrea found some restricted books when we were at that book sale at the weekend. It's annoying, but nothing we can do about it, to be honest. Indie Chick says, I bought an eBay lot listed as box of stuff. Talking about badly listed.
Brilliant.
For £1.50, it had a Buzz Lightyear, a Batmobile, a Wally. I made £100 plus. See, these deals are still out there. That's epic.
Stuff. I love that.
Box of stuff. What is going on in their head? How did they think anyone was going to find it? Listed box of stuff.
How did you find it, Indie Chick? I guess you searched on the local eBay app thing.
Yeah, I guess so. Collection only local. Yeah. I need to do a video about that actually, or maybe I shouldn't share my secrets. But
Have you got the app?
I use a website actually. I haven't started using that. You'll have to send me a link to that, or tell me what it's called.
I'll put the phone over there because it kept ringing, so I can't see it now. Local eBay deals finder or something, I think it's called.
Oh, okay.
It's not brilliant. It's glitchy, but it's all right.
Yeah, I need to look at that then. Austin Moore's got another question. Do your local charity shops know what you do? I'm open about it with them because of the range of things I buy. I could not really hide the fact, so I just tell them. Well, you go on this. I know a couple definitely know what you do, don't they?
Yes. Yeah.
And how did that work out?
They tell to me, and they like it that I, come in and buy loads of stuff.
Yeah.
Not all of them. I don't know the staff in all of them, but a few of my favourite ones. Yeah, I'm open about it, and they're happy. One of them, they let me go in the stock room as well. So, yeah, it's fine. I wouldn't ever hide it particularly because I wouldn't really see the point.
No.
I've seen a question that Nikki's asked. She'd asked it at least a couple of times. Can I read that one?
Yeah.
Is it better to list something for auction at 99p plus £2 or £3 postage, or start at £2.99 or £3.99 plus free shipping?
This comes down to your own opinions, really. I tend to add shipping on most of my stuff and then offer combined shipping rates, which encourages people to buy multiple stuff. There are advantages if you have free shipping in that eBay says it will promote your listings and you can get money off your listing fees. But I tend to ignore all of that, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I add shipping. But I think historically, Nikki, there was a time when you could get free listings this going back a long time now, get free listings if you listed at less than £1. And if you charge more than £1, so that's where all the 99p start stuff, I think, sort of originated from. Am I right in saying that? It was a long time ago, though, wasn't it?
Free listings on a basic account, up to a certain amount, I think. But yeah, but you had to start at less than £1. Plus, a long time ago, eBay would only charge you a end of item fee on the actual price of the item. So people used to sell the item really cheap and then have like £20 postage on, and we wouldn't get any fee on the postage amount. But now obviously they've changed that. We get charged 10% on our postage as well, which has changed a lot of those weird years and years ago. I'm talking sort of 10-15 years ago, you'd see items being sold, buy it now for £1 with £20 postage and stuff. Daft.
Red Rocket said, if you go for free shipping when listing and a buyer wants to return it, they would not be reimbursed for the postage you charged. Yes, they would, under eBay rules. Assuming you're a business seller, but no, under all eBay rules, I think.
Yeah, well, if you have free shipping on, I mean, you'd still have to pay to send it to them. And when they sent it back, you'd refund them the whole amount.
Yeah, you don't get a choice to not pay them their original postage back. They will pay to return it if it's a change of mind return.
Yeah.
But you still have to pay back the original postage.
Elmo says, yes, Nick, do a video as I don't know how to donut. How to do it, maybe.
Donut.
Okay, I may do that. I have a list of videos. Well, it's on the Mac in front of me here. A list of videos I haven't done and I've been requested.
I'm glad to see it written out so neatly, Nick.
This is around my Mac are lots of these to do and notes, and eventually they fall off and then they get thrown away and lost. And I am an organisational nightmare, I tell you. I always have been. I can't improve either. I try and improve quite regularly. I bought a whiteboard. I
was going to say, Andrew told me you bought a whiteboard. You've not put it up yet, then?
No, I've not put it up yet. And I haven't. I don't think I did half of these things that are written on here, and that was about a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bit the same. I've got a calendar out there, a perpetual calendar that I made, and I do actually write the numbers of the dates on every month, so that's winning. And then the reason I've got it is to write what YouTube videos I'm doing, and I'm about 2 weeks behind. I wrote one for the 1st of May and the 3rd, and that's as far as I've got.
Oh dear. Did you hear? I don't know if you saw the video we put out the other day. We went to a jumble sale and we were there on the wrong day. And I think I said in our little chat we have that they'd changed the blooming date again, blah, 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 blah. We worked out what we'd done. On my desk, I've got the little thing with the list that they give you when you go to this jumble sale of all the dates. This is the 2017 one. Andrea had on her desk last year's one, which was the one she used to put all the dates in her phone. So we've gone to this jumble sale twice on the wrong day and couldn't figure out how, because we've got the leaflets and we put the dates in. But yeah, we managed to put in last year's dates for this year's jumbles.
Well, at least you figured it out now, so hopefully you should turn up for the next one.
Yeah, I'm going to remind her when she gets back. Andrea's not here. She's up at her nan's with Ellen. I'll remind her to check that she's changed all the dates. So yeah, that sums us up. Just not good. How are you doing for time? Because if you got somebody coming around, you were saying.
I'm going to go in a minute, really. So.
Okay, cool. What I might do, if you've got a dash, I might just stay live and answer a few questions and bits.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you stepping in. That was fun. It's good time.
Yes, very good. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay,
take care, Caroline. Right, Caroline has to go because she's got somebody popping in. If you've just joined us, we've currently got 144 people. For those that have just joined, Zahir couldn't make it. He's feeling a bit ill. And so Caroline stepped in, but now she's had to go because she's got somebody coming round. So what I'll do for the next 10, 15 minutes or however long you wanted me to keep going, I'll just read questions and chat a bit. Right. I'll just start from where I'm at. Nick, do you play video games? Not anywhere near as much as I used to. I was a huge video gamer in the 80s and the 90s. Around the time of the SNES was the peak of it for me. That's my favorite console of all time. But yeah, Spectrum, SNES, Master System, original classic Game Boy. That was my gaming period. We've still got a PS3. We've got a Wii U. We had the Wii and loved that as a console. I'm a Nintendo fan really at heart. But I don't do much gaming at all. I was around a friend's the other night and we played on the Switch. Played Mario Kart on the Switch, which was fantastic. But yeah, not as much as I used to be. Oh, hold on. Lucy says, question it, did you ever get to put the Tat Cave sign up? I did. It hangs over here. I'm not going to go get it off. It hangs off the bottom of this shelf. This shelf here runs all the way to the front of the office, and it hangs just to the right of my desk. I was going to put it on the door, but I don't know, that would have annoyed me because it would have been swinging unless I stick it to the door. Right. Matt Morris, a whiteboard is a good idea. Yeah, a whiteboard is a great idea, but you still have to remember to action the things that are on it and refer to it and get a day in the week. Like the plan with this was every Sunday, Andrew and I would sit down and plan what we're both going to do on YouTube, what we're both going to do for eBay and for the blog. But yeah, we need to put that in place and try and get organized. I've never been an organized person. I'm just such a scatterbrain. I've got 10 things going on in my head all the time. And I'm just a mess with that sort of stuff. Right, lots of people saying goodbye to Caroline. Right, I did that video games question. Okay. Elmo says, Nick, no rush, stay on another hour. Well, yeah, that'd be nice, but I haven't eaten, I haven't fed the dog, I need to take Monty out. And ideally, I want to list the rest of the Atari stuff tonight. This is all done. I did a big box of all the boxed stuff, the really nice stuff. But I want to get those on tonight, ideally. And then that's it. I do have a load more games that aren't worth selling individually. A lot of these are hardly worth it. But they're going to go with bundled up with consoles. So I might get that sorted tonight as well. Question, I've sold an item to someone in Mexico and they want an invoice for postage. It normally does it for me. Any ideas why this would be? They want an invoice. Is that on GSP then, Jason? Because you can't invoice people if it's on GSP. I get a lot of people with asking me how much postage is. I have GSP set up on most of my listings. I get a lot of people asking me how much is the postage, and I have to then try and explain to them I don't know because I don't set it. And I have no way of finding out how much they're going to charge for GSP, which can be a bit frustrating. Richard Hale says 10-day listings works. Just had 2 sales from stock I put on 10-day listings today. Yeah, it certainly works for me. I see that definite spike in sales at the end of the 10-day period, which then of course comes around 3 times in that month. Whereas if you list for 30-day, you get that spike in interest when they're fresh listings, and then a spike in interest as they come to the finish. So I just get that boost 3 times instead. You do obviously have to pay the relist fees more often, so just bear that in mind. Elmo says SNES is my favorite console of all time too. Some amazing games that still play great today. Yeah, I've got a couple of SNESes I haven't tested yet from that huge haul, and I know when I set them up, as soon as I put Super Mario World in to test it, I will lose 4 or 5 hours. Last time I had a SNES and I had that game in stock, I put it on and I completed the whole game again. I lost like a whole day to it, but I know all the shortcuts and like the Star World, and yeah, that's my favorite game of all time, Super Mario World. Patrick Cusack, hi Nick, love the channel. I've learnt loads from watching you. Thank you. It's messages like that that kind of make this crazy thing we do, coming on here, sharing what we do, make sense. So yeah, thanks for that. Okay. Oh, sorry, the chat keeps jumping around. Question, where's the big red nose? For those of you that haven't seen the video, it's on the channel already. We went to Essex to pick up a massive, and I mean 3 foot wide by about 4 foot tall, red-nosed day nose that goes up on the side of a building. It's got a light in it and it all lights up. It's now, I've got a tiny shed in my back garden which has got Ellen's bike in it and all the garden equipment, and now a massive red nose. So that's where it is. Exit Dread question, can you update video on the stuff that you sold from your gaming haul? All I've listed from that so far is I sold a few things on private sale, and I've listed the vast majority of the 2600 stuff. I'm not in a big hurry to sell the Nintendo and Sega stuff. I'll quite happily hang on to that for a while. I do need to turn it over, but the more I look at some of the Nintendo stuff and the really good, really sought after games, the Mario stuff and that, I'm thinking I may just hang on to the more in-demand stuff until Christmas when prices will spike. So yeah, I may do that. Jason says, going back to him having a customer in Mexico that wanted him to invoice him, I only sell GSP. That's what I don't understand why this is happening. Just message him and explain that you can't invoice him. All the postage is done through GSP, and hopefully he'll understand. Question, can you do another board games video soon? Your Hero Quest video was great as it helped me to sell my own version for 105 on eBay. Wow, nice sale. Yeah, I do have, I want to do a video on Ghost House. I've got a Ghost House, which was really scruffy and it had random other stuff in it when I looked in. And I thought it was going to be missing parts and incomplete, but it's actually 100% complete. I want to do a video on that just to show it set up, more as a nostalgia thing than anything, but also to help people who maybe have got one and don't have a contents list and need to know what's in it or how to set it up. So yeah, the thing with videos is it's about time and finding time to do this when I should be doing 100 other things. Retro Cable says, question, considering FBA this year, do Amazon offer a collection service for a large number of items? Is the cost discounted? Thanks in advance. The way I do it with Amazon is I use their preferred courier, which is UPS. I tend to send 15 kilos or up to 15 kilos at a time, which costs me £5. You can have them collect from your door, but there's a drop-off point 5 minutes from my house, so I do that. Not sure about, I don't know what sort of volumes you're talking about, but your best bet is just to ring Amazon. Just, yeah, get onto customer service and find out. Hi Nick, question on GSP. This is another video I've had on that list to do for ages, explaining what GSP is and how it works. The question from Maria is, with GSP, who pays for the item to be sent to the UK GSP centre? You either have your item as free shipping, as some people do, and then obviously you factor in the postage cost for you to get it there, or you have postage on top. Most of my items, if I sold a mug, for example, I'd have £2.99 shipping on that, which the customer pays me. That pays to get it to the GSP centre in Derbyshire, and eBay will charge them the GSP fee, which will cover the item getting from Derbyshire to wherever it's going in the world. So yeah, your customer pays that, or it comes out of your cost if you have free shipping. CYB says, question, Nick, appreciate you're mainly a reseller. With regards to listing 7 or 10 days and the boost you get, would you do that with new products you sell and buy, or go good till cancelled? With new stuff that I have in bulk, I go good till cancelled. Or sometimes I do a mix of two. I might have a good till cancelled listing that stays permanently, and then a 10-day cycle one to get those intermittent boosts. It works out really well if you have products in volume, because as you get sales on a good till cancelled listing, those sales are noticed by eBay and that pushes it up the rankings. So yeah, I use good till cancelled for multi-listing stuff. Elmo says, get zombies for the SNES. I heard a lot about zombies. It wasn't a game I had back in the day, but yeah, it's a really highly rated game. I don't have that in stock at the moment, so I won't be able to play it, but if I see it, I'll definitely pick it up. Oh, sorry, I've just lost the chat again. Blah, blah, blah. Exit to a question. Bagpuss has moved position since Sunday. Has he? Is it moving around at night when no one's looking? Probably. I don't know. I think I moved him slightly because I shoved those Converse in there. Those Converse were a bit of a result. If I haven't looked into it myself, but a subscriber told me that he sold the same pair for £60, which, wow, blew my mind. I think we paid £8 on those. Retro Play says, yeah, like in Toy Story, when Nick isn't there, they all party. That would be so cool. Imagine walking in on that. Paul Foster says, Nick, I've been selling for years and thought I was doing okay. I stumbled across your video on Royal Mail PPI, which stands for postage paid impression. It's when you have a stamp like so. And I opened an account with them. Then after watching you, it's boosted my sales and prices. Okay, cool. Yeah, the PPI account really helps me. I get some pretty serious discount on parcels, not so much on the large letters and stuff. Yeah. And what's that about cats? Lisa Fenn, I have 3 real cats. One has psychological issues with using the litter tray, so she always pees and poos next to it. That would wind me up. That really would. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're at 7. Okay. How are we doing for viewers? Got 139 people in. 140 now. So yeah, welcome. If you're wondering why I'm sat here just answering questions on my own, it's because Zahir is feeling rough tonight. He couldn't make it. Caroline kindly stepped in. Let me just put this light on actually. Yeah, Caroline kindly stepped in, but she had to go. She had someone coming round, so I'm just answering questions and trying to chat for a bit. CYB says, thanks for the answer, Nick. No problem. Thanks for the question. Barney is messed up. I never really watched Barney. It's the giant pink or purple dinosaur thing, isn't it? The American character. Question, what is the fastest sale you've ever had from listing it? I listed PS1 Spyro and it sold within a minute of it being live. I think I shared this before, but when we had our gaming and entertainment shop, like real traditional bricks and mortar shop, it was like a CEX exchange store. We ran that for 8 years. I used to sell on Amazon at that point, merchant fulfilled. And people used to bring in stacks of games and I would offer them a trade-in price on it and they would go around and trade stuff in. And this one guy was a regular customer. He came in, he had a stack of stuff. I looked it up on the system I used to use. I said, whatever it was, I'll give you a £30 credit. He said, okay, I'm going to go and pick a few games. And he was a regular and he always traded in. He never changed his mind. When he says he's trading, he was fine with it. So he went off and started browsing. So I listed a couple of the items direct onto Amazon, merchant fulfilled, and one of them sold before he'd even left the store, before he'd even picked his game up, bought it and gone. I'd sold one of the games he traded in. Yeah, that sticks with me. That was within minutes. The Hillsman 25 question, have you sold all of those water bottles? Not by a long shot. I started with roughly 450. They are selling really well. They range a lot. I think the most I've got for one was 20. The least was about a tenner. I'm sending a few into Amazon. I sent some up to test the waters at Amazon and sold 3 or 4 already. So I'm sending more. I'm going to send up some of these litre size plain blues and some of these kids ones. These have glow in the dark tops on. It's got a little cover on it. It's got like aliens. And I sold a couple of these off at Amazon, so I'm just going to replenish. I might send more actually. So yeah, but mainly I'm selling those on eBay, and they're going pretty good at the moment, just ticking along nicely. What's that? We just had a sale. Let's have a look. Oh, I've sold for £45 one of those plumbing little programmer things. The plumbing stuff's gone really well actually. I sold the what did I sell? The valve I had, that went for 40. Yeah, loads of it. I need to do a sales roundup actually. I'll do that soon. Okay, how are we doing? 5 past. Let's see if we've got any more questions. For those that have just popped in, yeah, Z couldn't make it. He's feeling ill, and Caroline was here and has left. So I'm just waffling really and chatting with you guys. Maria Clark, Nick, have you got your chest mount yet for your phone? Yes, it arrived today. I tried it on. It's pretty cool. I haven't tried filming with it yet and seeing what that's like. I will have a go at doing more vlogs at car boot sales. I don't know how comfortable I'm going to be negotiating with people and trying to do a deal whilst filming, or whether I don't really want to get their faces in it either. You know, not everyone wants to be on the internet. So I don't know. I'll have to play around with it and see if it works out. But yeah, it arrived today. Bit of talk going on about cats in there. We've never had cats. We've always been dog people, certainly in my family. We did house share once. When I first got together with Andrea, we house shared with some people we were working at Virgin Megastores with. And one of the girls there had a cat. It's a crazy thing. It used to catch flies. It used to jump up in the air and catch flies out of the air, like a ninja cat. Retro Play Day says, Nick, for the water bottles, I'd sell with a £1 raincoat and sell as festival bundle. Yeah, but then I'd have to buy all the raincoats for £1. I'm selling them. I've used the keyword festival in quite a few. I don't know whether that's helping. To be honest, the brand on these sells them anyway, because it's a high-end, really popular brand called Sig. If you can read that. So they're kind of selling themselves, really. So I'm quite happy to let them tick along. There's plenty of money in it, and I'm in profit on everything I bought from that mega haul, so it's just pure profit on those now. Right. Exit to Ed says, Kevin Wolford 123. I know that channel. Yeah, he's a gaming collector. He doesn't live too far from here, actually. Uses a chest mount for his car boot bids. Ah, okay, cool. Red Rocket 321. I've been staggering the free 7-day auctions so that I have the same item expiring daily. A subtle name change in title gets you top of list in ending soonest. That's not a bad plan, mate. I need to start using those free auction listings I've got. I just haven't been organised enough. Ad says he might be getting a cat. More cat chat going on in there. Sean says, got many Nerf guns this year, Nick? I haven't picked up many. I picked up a pair a couple of weeks back at £1 each, and they've sold already for, I think it was 15 or 20. Strong arm, 2 strong arms. I don't think I've got any more currently. I do have some at Amazon. I think I've got a few left at Amazon, which I sent up, which haven't shifted. Right, well, I think I'm going to wrap this up shortly. Thanks for joining me. We're now 7:10, so I've been going well over an hour. I hope you're feeling better here if you're watching this. And thanks again, Caroline, for joining me last minute. I really enjoyed that. And yeah, appreciate you all popping in. I hope I got around to answering a few of your questions. Lisa Fenn, I heard a sneaky ka-ching there. Did I get another ka-ching? Let's have a look at the app. Oh yeah, another ka-ching. Ka-ching. Oh, talking of festivals, I've just sold another one of these. When I picked up that massive haul last October time, whatever, and filled up a transit van, the guy was desperate to get rid of these things. They are little water bottles. I don't know if that's focusing. Oh, and I've just sold another. But yeah, it was desperate to get rid of them. I didn't show a lot of interest, so he just gave them to me. And I'm selling them as a festival kit. They are little like squishy bags, and I've actually put in the title "Smuggle Alcohol" because other sellers were selling similar bags that you can like shove down your trousers or whatever with vodka in. So, and I've sold a few packs of those. They're starting to pick up actually. And I've just sold, what's the other thing that just came in? Oh, I sold Tech 7 waterproof motorcycle sat nav bag and a cig bottle. Talking of these cig bottles, I've just sold one like that, but in red. Let's see if I can go into it. And I got 15 on that one. So that's just come in. So yeah, happy days. Right, I'm going to wrap it up now. I won't bore you any longer with my random sales. Nick is on fire with sales. Well, they're ticking along. Nothing amazing, to be honest. Right, I will see you on Sunday with Andrea. Don't know what that'll involve. We are going to a jumble, so we may well have a haul. And I'm going to hopefully do a sales roundup video between now and then. So yeah, keep your eyes open for that. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for the questions. I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye for now.